Yeah, what's up, y'all? It's been a minute. Welcome back. Here we go with the three levels of gameplay. Just your brother B Life, the formula. If y'all look to the left of me right here, I got my brother, the Cadillac Kid. Say what's up to him, Cadillac.
Yo, 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 what up?
Gia. And on the bottom end, we got none other than Mark the Chizamp.
Yes, live and direct from New York, baby. Was good.
Yeah, and we got a special guest today. If y'all have been following since the Night Watch days, this is the actual inventor of the Night Watch here. You know what I'm saying? We didn't get him for as many episodes as we would have liked to because of his work schedule, but he is here today with us is none other than the amazing King Wise.
Peace, 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 peace.
Yeah. Okay, y'all. So we just wanted to break it down today. Today's show, we call it How Do You Want It? Because we got all of this game flowing, for everybody. And one thing that I'm seeing with a lot of the new dudes and the young dudes right now, their first thing is, hey, how do I get this? How do I get to ass? How do I get sex? And the thing is this, man, we have to start from the basics before you could even get any sex. Everything starts with your mentality. Like a lot of guys ask me, hey, how do I get rid of approach anxiety and whoop de whoop? Check this out, man. There is no way to get rid of your approach anxiety if your mind is not right. Your mind has to be in the proper state first and foremost. Fellas, do y'all agree with that?
100.
Absolutely, to the T.
That's correct. That is so correct, brother.
Yeah, so this is the main thing, right? And we got a couple of videos and bear with us today. We on StreamYard. So we have to I got to figure the platform out a little more. I did run some tests with it, but I'm not quite proficient with it. Anyway, the thing is, we just want to start off with the mentality, right? And what is a mentality? Obviously, a mentality has the root word mental in it. And what it's basically dealing with, key word, is dealing with the way that you think, but not just the way that you think about things. How is it that you think about yourself? This is the most important thing. Now, all of these guys that I have here, that are on the panel right now have been involved in some sort of extracurricular activity, whether it's sports, whether it's cars, right? Mark, you played basketball in high school?
Yeah. I played basketball in high school. I played basketball growing up, man. I'm an '80s baby, man. We actually went outside and went to the park. We actually played park. You know what I mean? Like you go drive by park now, it's a ghost town. You might as well have some tumbleweeds go through.
Hey, let me ask you this though, but you grew up in New York where like that, they call that the mecca of basketball,
Yeah, that's right.
right? Now, um because you guys got the best ballers in the world, that come from there, and you guys got the Rutgers thing that happened every single year. Is someone able to just go onto the basketball court and say, "Hey, you know what? Um, I don't know how to dribble this basketball. I don't know how to throw a pass. I don't know how to shoot the ball. Um, but I want to get on somebody's basketball team." Is that going to happen in New York?
It's so here's the thing though. It can happen, but it has to come with a caveat. The caveat of communication. You have to go and express that in the very beginning. Don't wait till you get down or picked on a team and then reveal your novice level of the sport. So what you need to do is you let people know from the jump, yo, I'm not the best at it. I want to work on X, Y, and Z. And then you'll get the benefit of the doubt and people work with you. But if you try to go in there and front like, you Harold Miner, for those that don't know Baby Jordan, You know, if you go there and you try to act like you some street ball legend that nobody heard of, and then the next thing you know, you shooting like Bill Cartwright, yeah, they gonna get at you.
And how important is your mentality when you're on that basketball court?
Well, your mentality is very important because it's gonna actually channel the direction and how you move in like that sport or in that game. So if your mentality is on point, you might even be able to pull off that nobody even know that you know how to play if your mentality is good enough.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, no, that's a very key thing. Because that's where con artists actually come from. Con, that people think that means convict. It's actually not that. A con artist is actually a confidence man, right? The con stand for confidence. So there is a certain way that you have to approach things. And as you see in the mecca of basketball, they're not really playing with you when they get on the court because those people are very serious about what they do. Um, but I want to move it over to the West Coast over here now. My man Cadillac Kid. I mean, the name says it all. Hey, Cadillac, can I get up in one of them car shows? You
Mm.
know, if I'm like, if I, because there's a certain mentality when you building up cars, right? There's a certain way that you say, hey, this is what I want this thing to look like. This is how I want the sounds to be. This is how I want the presentation. So the mentality has to be right. Um, can I, let's say I wanted to do something like the Malinger. For those of you who don't know, I had a $600 Chevy Malibu 2001. It was beat up. The fender didn't even match the color of the damn car. Now, now, because it takes a certain mentality, and if y'all see Cadillac Kids, Cadillac, in fact, y'all go follow him on Instagram. What is that, Cadillac Kid 64 on Instagram, right?
Yep.
Okay, I want y'all to go follow this man and go take a look at this damn 1964 Cadillac, which is a very rare car. Is a very rare car. So, Caddy, can I just pull up on the car scene without proper preparation?
You're gonna get laughed at, man. You're gonna be laughed at. Just with cars, if your shit ain't, you didn't wash it, you didn't wax it, you didn't clean the wheels, you didn't do your proper ritual that everyone should do to be prepared for the next, for the event or whatever, you're gonna get laughed at. You're gonna get clowned, right? You didn't take care of business. Everybody can tell on the basketball court or out in at the bar or at the car show, the meet, whatever it is, everyone can tell when you're not prepared. You know what I'm saying? You're not fooling nobody. And the bitches are trained to see this in you if you're prepared or not. You know what I'm saying? And confidence, that's clarity. When you're
Mm,
confident, you can see well. And if for proper to part of the preparation is taking care of yourself, but also is if you can dream it, you can achieve it. So you got to see yourself in in those positions.
The five P's: proper preparation prevents poor performance.
There it is.
that's real. That's so real. And we gonna bring it back. We got to bring it back because I got the football expert up in here now. For those of you who don't know, not only did King play in high school, King also organized a military football team. And they took the crown. They took the championship. King Wise,
Peace.
hey, can I step on the football field if I have if my mentality isn't right?
No, most definitely not. That is a kill or be killed type of business. You know, when I played in high school, and it's funny because you have Little League, Pop Warner is what we called it from where I came from, and I never played Pop Warner, but I just had love for the game. So majority of the players that I played with had some type of basis, and with a lot of sports that come up and everything is fundamentals. You have to be fundamentally sound. And how can I say it? What they call it? Uh, Not gifted, but just what's that word I'm looking for? Where you the athletic ability, right? You can get away if you have athletic ability, but it only can take you so far. But having the fundamentals in the sport is what helps take you a longer way because it helps you understand what's going on, how it can relate to a vehicle like a car show with Cadillac and basketball. What my cousin, you know, you definitely have to be fundamentally sound and everything. I was fortunate in that because I had the hunger and I play basketball, I play baseball, and but football was my love, and I never could do that.
Oh, damn, man. Oh man, we had a good we had a good commentary go. I don't know what happened with King. I'm gonna shoot him a text real quick to let him know that his joint went out. Hold on real quick, y'all. But he was hitting on some major things, and when we get him back, we're gonna let King finish up. The reason I had these guys speak on these things is because these are environments. You there, King?
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, because I had an incoming call. Sorry about that.
Yeah. So go ahead, pick up where you were at.
Hell, I don't even know where I was at, but it was because I had the love of the game,
Uh-huh.
right? That I was able to go ahead and go forward. The funny part about it is when you go back to the military team, is after I graduated, that's when I was fundamentally sound and I understood, you
Your
know.
confidence was different then too, wasn't it?
Wait, because now I moved into a coaching style. I
Now,
mean,
see,
what every sport uh pertaining to self, it it can bring you camaraderie, car show. It can bring you togetherness with groups with AI likes, with people who have the same interests as you do, right? And the respect factor. The respect factor comes in when you can show and prove what you can do. Just like our other brother said, you got to tell them up front what you need help with or what you can't do and stuff, right? That's just integrity right there, right? For self. And then you go out there and you get it. You got to go out there and you got to want to get it.
it's,
So if you want the respect, if you want to be that person and everything, it's something that just some people say some things come naturally with folks and stuff. And they do, and some things do. But at the same token, it doesn't mean that they haven't worked on it as well. They don't see, like you said, the con artists and everything. You know, that's something that's natural that comes to the con artists. They so used to doing it and they perfect it. That's the crazy part. They know what they can do, their abilities are, and their restrictions, and that's what they work with. They work with and they restrain.
yeah, no, that's facts. So speaking of which, there was a dude by the name of George C. Parker, and this guy supposedly sold the Brooklyn Bridge like 400 times. This is where you get that term,
Yeah, I got a bridge in Brooklyn to sell you.
yes.
If you'll buy anything, hey, let's see if you buy this imaginary bridge that I'm pulling out of my butt to sell for. So you can get a couple.
Now think
Hey,
about that. Think about the level of confidence though that it takes to tell somebody that you're gonna sell them a bridge that you have no damn ownership of.
yeah, because you got the confidence in knowing that who you talking to, the world is completely over their eyes. So you might even have a chance of a sale.
Yeah, that's facts. But the thing is this, can I get that same sale if I'm not confident, if I'm like, well, yeah,
No,
bridge,
no, no, you cannot.
right?
Well, you gotta have confidence in everything you do.
Exactly.
Everything, every iota. When you look in the mirror, you should like what you see back. And if you don't, you gotta go work on that shit. Ain't nobody gonna go do it for you. Mommy, we grown men. Mommy ain't gonna hold your hand and put cocoa butter on your cheek or whatever they take, or wipe snot from your eye like what she did when you was like in single digits. You know, like we grown, man. So you gotta be on top of your game, and every part of life reflects that. And if you don't have that mindset or that mentality, you're gonna come up short.
Complete agreement. Complete agreement. See, the confidence, this is where everything actually starts from. Um, the thing is, the thing that even got me started like in this game, like I was a kind of dude that was back in the day. I'm talking about at the when I first started trying to get at females. I started with that choosing signal BS. Okay. And I was trying to see if a chick was checking me out and if she was or if she was smiling or this and that. And let me tell you, thinking like that, you're only going to maybe get about 15% of the women that really uh that you would actually have access to if you had some type of confidence,
You know,
right?
and you're right about that because I was like that too. And not only, and it's funny you say that because they choose you doesn't mean that you have to accept because much as you're talking about this, you just made me flash back to my days. And I was just like, I'm gonna get me somebody and I go into a club and I say, okay, whoever talks to me, whoever I dance with, whoever spends the most time with me, that's the one I'm taking home. But hell, you could be taking home a psycho killer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
No, that
can get overconfident as well and put yourself in a situation to where you like, what the fuck did I pick up? Or what
Right.
did I bag? You know what I
I,
mean?
I mean,
That can happen as well.
it's not just women; it's us as well that we have to really take a look at of that word choice, which is another segment. But as the part of, as you say, the confidence and stuff, yeah, someone picks you, you know, and you be like, yeah, that boosts your little confidence up. But shit, you don't even know if that's the slob of the knob.
you
Then
know
you,
what King, no, you're hitting on something too, because it does boost your confidence, but it's a false boost because it's
yeah,
external. It's
yes,
coming from outside instead of inside,
correct.
right? So whatever quick fix you're gonna get, or like if you were with a lot of young guys, and I know I was very notorious for this, right? A lot of people consider me a pretty boy, and so that was really how I was getting the little 15% I was getting, was because women thought I was attractive, right? It didn't click for me until later, that once I let my personality go, it's a wrap, right?
Yeah.
Um, and this is the thing, because I've been in situations where Cadillac Kid and I, we used to work together. We used to work together, and let me tell you, I remember this dude. He had seen this one little Asian cutie in a warehouse one time, right? And this
Mm-hmm.
fool was like, "Hey, I want that mug. I want it." He's like, "I'm going after it." And he was like a damn pit off the leash. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he ran down on Shorty too. I think he scared the shit out of Shorty. You remember that shit,
Oh
Cadillac?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She was like she got him. I don't know. She was talking to some dude already. But I told her, yeah, and what? What's that got to do with me? I was like, all right, I'm gonna let you get back to it. But if I run down on you, I don't give a fuck if you standing next to him. I'm still gonna talk to you. You feel me? Like I was just putting that that alpha presence on her, and she was
And
eating it up.
let me ask you this: when did you really come into that, or were you always like that? Like, did you grow up like that, or was that something you had to develop? How did that work for you?
You know, luckily for me, like when I was a young buck, I think it was like third grade, fourth grade. You know, Pops is a player too. So I remember like one of the first things he taught me, I was getting ready for school, and he was like, you got everything you need? Yup. You got a pencil? I was like, yeah. He's like, well, you need two. I was like, two pencils? I was thinking, okay, in case I break one or something. He said, no, when you get to school, you sit next to the prettiest girl in class. And if she don't have a pencil, then you'll have one for her. Right? And that's like third grade or some shit. So, you know, you can imagine ever since then, it's always been, you know, player ways, player ways.
No, but that's the thing, though. So, and
Woo. It's that New
that is
York
the
heat.
thing. Mark, let me ask you a question because you came out the gate like that, didn't you?
Huh?
You came out the gate like that, though, didn't you?
Came out the gate like what?
Like how George was, where you were just kind of like put off the leash when you had your first crush and everything like that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I was kissing chicks at 5 years old and all that. Like it was crazy. Confident, man. So the thing is, right, is that when me growing up, I grew up in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, circa the early '80s. All right. And a lot of my friends, all of my brothers that I grew up with, I was the one that was different. So whereas everybody had one complexion and one hair type, I had the other, a lighter complexion, a curlier hair type. So I I was just confident. I was different than everybody else. I'm not gonna run away and hide. I step up to the plate. So I was up there talking to girls. Hey, how you doing? In kindergarten, first grade. I know it's fresh, but it was a different time. Again, I grew up in the '80s, baby. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? So that's what I had to deal with, man. So confidence was a factor because I grew up in a time frame where it was sink and swim. Like you was just thrown in the water and you had to put it together to stay afloat. And that's basically what I've done and continue to do. Here we are 40 plus years later.
Shoot, I remember, man, in preschool, there was this girl that had a big ass crush on me, man, and I liked her too, and I was still shook. I remember her and I, Shorty and I, we both, we both, our parents was late in picking us up. And so, we had to sit there. The teacher was, she was doing whatever she was doing, prepping the next lesson or whatever. Shorty kept scooting closer to me. And so I would smile at her and laugh, and then I'd scoot away from her, and then she'll scoot next to me. And we played this game for like a whole like 20 minutes until our parents came and picked us up. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Um, that
See,
was
look,
telling me right
she already chose.
exactly. Well, so what I picked up from that though was that like the more I try to go towards something, like if I try to run towards my shadow gonna run away from me, right? But if I walk away from my shadow, then that shit will follow. It wasn't computing into confidence just yet, but it was a knowledge that stuck with me until I really started to get out there and get at females, right? And so I really wasn't getting at them because I was like, if I do that, then Shorty is finna, I wasn't putting it together right as far as Shorty is finna. I was feeling like if I push up, then she's gonna move away. So I used to put myself in a position where these chicks would chase me, right? And I did that all the way up until when I got into the military. Um, my boy Kenny Mack, we got out there, and King could remember this in Oakland at the lake every Sunday. It used to pop off, and I was out there. I went out there with my boy Kenny Mack, and it's like as soon as we got out the car, Kenny was shooting. And I was like, damn, I'm not finna get left behind in this. You know what I'm saying? So I just started shooting at every damn thing, whether hit or miss. I wasn't even worried about missing, right? And once I started to not care about the failure aspect of it, all I cared about was winning. It's kind of like shooting a shot in basketball. I didn't care if I missed or not. What I was more concerned with was, can I hit this shot from this angle? You feel what I'm saying? And that was where the shift started to really take place at. I used to go to this club in Frisco with King, DV8. And let me tell you something. King was on some, check this out. I'm going to
You
hang
said
with you, Bugs.
BBA?
DV8.
Oh,
Yeah. There was a rapper named Drew Down up there. Drew Down was from Oakland. And he was like a real life pimp. Like the dude in 96 when we got back. He had this chick driving a burgundy Benz for him, right? And they kept bumping that Pac "Picture Me Rolling" because Drew Down was real close with Pac. And this dude, he had like 6 chicks with him. He had a burgundy outfit to match his burgundy Benz and whatnot. And this dude talk exactly like he rapped. So me, King, Universal, rest in peace. We all up in this club, and King is like, I'm gonna kick it with y'all for maybe about 10, 15 minutes, and I see y'all at the end of the night. And every single night we went, King went home with something. King, where you developed that mentality at? Oh, this fool froze. Hang on real quick. Let me tell him again.
oh, that's a Pisces thing.
You said that's a Pisces thing?
That's a Pisces thing. We just have this magnanimous magnetism property that allows people to feel comfortable around us, and if you can manipulate is the wrong word, but if you can
Persuade?
finesse that properly,
Yeah.
if you can finesse that properly, it's real easy to get somebody on your team. You just
Yeah, well,
gotta
see,
know that you can do it.
and that was the thing though. That was a thing that I wasn't putting together when I was first figuring the game out, like in the teen years and stuff like that, right? Was that
Right.
see, I always knew if I could get the chick to be able to talk to me, she'll fall in love with my personality. I already knew that. But I needed to get to that point where she was able to talk to me.
Yeah, if I put one in the air, we not gonna get kicked off, are we? Do I need to cut my video off?
Man, that's our video, man. What you talking about, man? Did you just ask
Cause
me that?
I just got off work, man. I'm about to twist me something up, man.
Oh, King said he had to roll out. Okay.
Oh,
So
fair
so
enough.
yeah, but that's the thing, man. I already knew if I was able to get that, if I was able to get her to see my personality, then it was a wrap. I got her. I knew that much. What I didn't have confidence in was being able to just roll up on the woman. And so as a result, I put this added pressure on myself before I would roll up on a shorty. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all ever
Mm-hmm.
did that before?
You said you put the pressure
What?
on
Put
yourself?
extra pressure
Yeah.
on yourself to go
Yeah.
into battle?
Yeah.
Most of us have.
For sure.
Yeah.
Most of
For
us have.
sure.
Don't feel bad. Nah,
Oh,
that's
I don't feel
standard.
bad
I
about
mean,
that at
really,
all. That was part of my
you
growth,
gotta
fool.
whatever it takes to put you in the position to acquire what you're going after. That's what it's about. Like you gotta wanna get the objective. Like just like anything else, like a science test, you know. In order to pass that test, you gotta put in the work.
That's
Yeah.
facts.
Yeah. If I could be honest, like for me growing up, like I always had like luckily I always had bitches around, right? Growing up. And for a while I was like oh, did we lose Mark?
Yeah, we're gonna get him back though. Go ahead.
For a while, I had bitches around, like let's say middle school, high school, and they were doing things for me then that I barely understand today, to be honest. Or like now. Because they were, I would come home, get a phone call like, "Hey, check your front yard." It'll be like some new Nike shoes, right? It'll be like certain things that I didn't understand. I was like, why is this bitch being so nice to me, right? And they're like asking me like, "Hey, you want to be my boyfriend?" I was like, "Sure." Next day, I changed my mind. Like I was lucky. I was lucky. I was lucky because girls wanted to be with me. But the thing is, I wasn't really choosing them. It was a decent crop. So I was chilling. But sometimes some people don't have game. It's just that the girls want to be with them. Cool. So I had my little, run with that. But then I noticed that, when it was time, okay, my first thought of I want to talk to this girl wasn't until later because I already had them coming to me. I was already turning them down, luckily. So once, later, let's say halfway end of high school, I'm like, oh, I like her. And she's not, she's not fucking with me like that. What do I do? So that question right there, that's where the game started to get developed. Because it's
Yeah.
like it was coming to me, so I didn't have to develop it, right?
Yeah, no, 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 no. That makes perfect. That's kind of what was going on with me because I was like, man, what the hell,
Hmm.
right? I couldn't put two and two together at first. You feel what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Um, I had to look at like some older cats to really just sit back and say, whoa, hold on, man, you fucking up. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Yep.
You're not
Yep.
reading that right because man, when I moved out here, I went to a high school that's outside of the hood. You feel me? So it was a different hood. So once they found out we wasn't from that hood, it was already bad blood. You feel me? And it made it worse because all of them shorties, like I knew all them shorties, and it was the same kind of deal where they're doing benefits for me, but I'm not putting this together. You know what I'm saying? And so the dudes is really triggering a dude. One chick I messed with, these dudes actually stopped talking to the young lady, man. They actually stopped talking to the young lady because her and I was messing around,
oh
but
yeah,
I
that's an
went.
interracial. That's an interracial scenario.
You said interracial
Yeah, so that
because she
happened
from
to
a
me a
different
few
hood.
times. That happened to me a few times when I was young growing up. I will go and bag a Puerto Rican or murder mommy, as however you want to view it. I would bag a Spanish female, and then what happened is that the friends that she used to have would give her ultimatum to because they don't want her dealing with this brother. So because they don't want her dealing with this brother, those kind of dynamics take place. But even then, I still got the goods several times. You know what I mean? So the thing is your confidence. Your confidence is the key in everything. It could take you from the outskirts to where you feel like you can't get involved to in the mix and partying in the center of the dance floor.
Oh, that's facts.
That's where
That's
your
facts.
confidence can go. You could be a
That's facts.
person with low self-esteem and just eat up whatever negativity someone throws at you, or you could be like your boy here and you are now in the presence of greatness.
Hey, that's facts though. That's facts because that's the one thing these dudes couldn't get. These dudes were insecure, and they were like the clique that everybody looked towards, right? And it made them hot that I wasn't part of this clique. I didn't want to be a part of this clique. They didn't want me apart because I'm from a different hood anyway. You know what I'm saying? And they just didn't like dudes from my hood like that. So it was pissing them off that here it is. We supposed to be them guys. This dude, you know what I'm saying? He rolling. He's standing on his own square. You know what I mean? His squad is whoever he chooses to be around for that day, and that wasn't setting right with them. And these are the things what started to make me realize that hey, you know what, these dudes are jealous of something. Obviously I got something that they wish they had, and so it what it does, it forced me to look within. And this is where the confidence has to come from for you guys. If you feel like you too fat or you too hefty, You can always rectify those situations, but I'm going to tell you, no matter, or if you feel like you don't have enough money, you can always rectify those things. The problem that you will run into is what happened if, okay, you, let's say you get muscles, but then you, something happened where you get injured and you can't work out, so you get fat again. Or let's say you didn't really manage your money right, so now you're not paid anymore. Where is your confidence coming from? If you build it on external things, this is why we say, how do you want it as the title? How do you want to your relationship to go? You will be the ultimate determining factor of this relationship. If you want to be confident in yourself, then it has to be on your own principles, your own integrity, your own standard, how you see yourself. Do you think you're beautiful even though you're fat? You feel what I'm saying? Or out of shape? Do you think you're beautiful even though you might be penniless and not have anything in your bank account? Do you think you're beautiful if you live with your moms or your auntie or your grandmother? You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless of whatever your situation is, do you still find the beauty and the greatness in yourself? Mark just told y'all, he just said, hey man, y'all could be like this dude here and find greatness. So obviously he sees himself as great. Cadillac Kid, when he rolled up on Shorty, he already knew. He was like, "Hey, you know what? F that dude." Not saying, not saying. I'm not telling y'all to go tell no Shorty to F her boyfriend, but he already knew he was that dude, and she was wasting her time if she wasn't with him. Whether or not she recognized that, he didn't even give a damn because he knew. So even if she didn't recognize, he was like, "Hey, well, you know what? I'm the $1 billion lottery ticket that you just chose not to cash in on."
Real shit. You gotta believe in thyself.
That's, hey man, that's just what it is. And if you don't have that, then you need to start building that. Some people get in front of a mirror and they tell themselves, you know, I'm this or I'm that 100 times a day. And if that works for you, that's cool, right?
I mean, it starts with you. If you don't believe in yourself, how can you have someone else believe in you?
That's the facts, right? I mean, shoot, I was in the Navy. Imagine, here it is, we got the person who steers the ship, right? The working deck department. Imagine if this dude is like, well, hey, you know, we got to get to Japan, but I don't know where to go. How confident is the crew gonna be, right? How confident is the crew? If you taking
Somebody
a
should have
damn
told him.
flight, hey, if you taking a flight to Jacksonville, Florida, and the pilot tell you, yeah, well, I don't know if I can really fly this plane.
Oh,
Are
I
you
can't
gonna
off
board
that
the
plane.
Cadillac? Cadillac, what you doing? You getting on the plane?
Fuck no.
Exactly, right? So the confidence matters, the direction matters, right? This is you have to have this before you even step to a shorty. You feel what I'm saying? You have to have this. You have to have love for yourself before you can do anything and achieve anything. You have some people like Will Smith who he had a belief in himself, but he didn't fully love himself. He believed that he could execute an action. And sometimes, you know, we mistake that for overall confidence. That's confidence in what you're doing. What we're telling you is to have confidence in who you are. Because if I get confidence in who I am, not only is it going to help me in who I am, but it's also going to translate into what I'm doing. And I hope
It'll,
you
it,
guys understand how that works.
it'll increase your frequency.
Yes,
Your
right?
energy will now turn into a higher level, a higher form, and you will realize how important you truly are.
Yes, like you know, when I get up in the morning, man, I already know, man, it's finna be a great day today
Because I'm alive.
because I'm alive. I
It
got
starts there.
access. I got access to an abundance of oxygen. I got access to clean water, right? Those two things there alone set me apart. All of my motor functions is working in my body, my fingers, my toes, arm, leg, arm, head, my torso, my penis, my fingers, my toes, my nose, my ears, my eyes. I got all that working for me. So already my day has already started where I feel like I'm on the top of the hill already. You feel what I'm saying? So um this confidence has to come from within. It can't be outside of yourself. You can't just put on fly clothes, because this is the thing. If you look at these two dudes right here that's on this panel with me, you're not finna outdress these two guys. It's not finna happen. You feel what I'm saying? So if your confidence is in your dress, when these two dudes step in the room, yeah, you gonna falter. You gonna falter. So it has to come from in here. You're not gonna outdress my boys. My boys, we got to fly a squad out here, man. You
Well,
know what I'm saying? I put
I
my
think try not to focus on being better. Try to get in where you fit in. Try to
that's
focus
facts.
on being at the level. It's levels to this. So first get at the level to where you competent and you can possibly compete. Once you get to those levels, then you're closer to actual competing and exceeding.
That's facts. That's facts. That's super facts. So we always have this portion of the video where we need to go ahead and we need to take it to another tab. Hold on real quick. This is slides and PDFs. Hang on. I don't have a share screen option. I gotta download this shit. Is that I thought this present was there it is. Okay. Hang on real quick. I'm going to say select the window of the screen. Entire screen we're gonna allow. Okay. So we're gonna come here. And tell me if you guys can hear the video. Can you hear that?
Nah.
No.
Y'all couldn't hear Shorty? Hang on real quick.
Are we supposed to see it too?
Yeah, you couldn't see nothing?
Nah, nothing. I couldn't see or hear anything.
Okay. I think I know what's going on. Boom, there we go.
Now we see it.
Okay. So let's try this now. Tell me if you hear it. Do you hear that?
I see it.
Can you
I
hear it?
see it, but I
Oh, I
don't hear it.
saw that.
Yeah.
I saw this. I saw Shorty saying something. I saw that video probably either late last night or earlier today.
Okay. So
But I ain't
hang
hear
on.
her. I ain't hear her just now when you presented it.
Okay, hang on real quick. Okay, so you said you guys said you couldn't hear it?
Not yet.
Okay, so hang on. We can see it though. Let's see.
That's half the battle right there.
Okay, so we're gonna come here and let's see. So we couldn't hear a damn thing we said, huh? Try it again. Anything?
No.
Nah.
Damn it, damn it, damn it. Yeah, see this damn StreamYard thing, don't
Do you hear it?
yeah.
Hmm.
But it's also on my machine though, so I want to see if we could get this. Basically, no, this is for my thing. Hold on, I want to go here for. Oh shoot. So let's go here. We're gonna go back to the share screen option. I want to see if I hold on, I almost hit that M. Okay. Yeah, I don't see no option to play the damn sound on this damn thing. And I used to do it. I forget how to do this damn thing though. Basically, hold on, I'm not gonna play with this thing for too much longer, but here, let's remove this. And then I'm gonna say I'm gonna stop that screen. There we go. So I'm gonna go back to present. I'm gonna go to share screen. Share screen, either two monitors. Sharing, yeah, use Chrome. Oh, if you like to share audio. So it says use Chrome if we want to share audio. Okay, we can do that. We're gonna go here and do this Chrome thing. Come in here like this. And we're gonna pow here. Let me get that one up there. And then let me get this other two, and then we'll get it cracking, fellas. Yeah. Boom. Bam. Okay, one more. Hold on, let me pause this. Did y'all hear that
I ain't hear anything
at all?
outside of you.
Okay,
Nope.
that thing came through loud. Okay. Oop, hang on. Boom. Pow. Okay, there we go. Okay, I got these three ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna share screen. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna get this right. Y'all are on here with us learning this whole StreamYard thing. Okay, so that's us three. So I'm gonna go present. I'm gonna say share screen. I'm gonna say entire screen. I'm gonna allow. And if I add this to the stage, okay, you guys see it now, right?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. Can you hear it?
Mm,
Still
No,
can't hear it?
no.
no.
This is shit said to fucking okay. Well, either way, we're just gonna ask the question then. I wanna see. We're just gonna ask the question. Basically what this shorty was saying, the question was, would you marry your dream woman who checks all of the boxes except one? Okay, I'm gonna remove this shit. Uh would you marry your dream woman who checks all of the boxes except one? She has a very high body count and tells you about it beforehand, but it's all in her past now. All right, I'm
You,
throwing that around the room.
you said checks all the boxes except one, so we
She
don't
checks.
know which that is.
No, no, no. The only box is that she has a high body count.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. So she checks all the boxes, but she has a high body count, but
Yeah.
that's in the past.
Yes, but she told you about it up front. Like you was dealing with her.
How
You know what
high is high? Because
I
every that's a perception thing, right? Everybody could be different.
well, we'll never know what high is,
I guess
right?
you're right. You'll never
So
know the truth anyway.
yeah, you'll never know the truth, but she's actually stepping to you and being
Yeah.
honest about it and saying, "Hey, you know what? I had a past.
Damn.
I had a past."
Honestly, I feel like maybe there's no right answer in this situation. Like it's very situational. And
Uh-huh.
honestly, like my old self would say, fuck no. I don't give a fuck. Right? Because that's too many miles on the car. I don't want it. But in this day and age, I would it would depend on the relationship. Like, does this girl really get me? Do we really work together? Like, it's got to be under extraordinary circumstances that I'm okay with it. But it is possible,
Okay.
you know. Like, do we? She gets it. She rolls with it. She helps me. Like a lot of good things. But knowing me, I don't know, man. It might not work out because of that. I don't know.
Okay. I think I might got it. I think I might got
Nice.
it. Are you able to let me see something? Tell me if you can hear her. Can you hear her?
N- Nope.
Okay, that shit ain't work. I guess we just have to do StreamYard on fucking I guess we gotta just do StreamYard on fucking
When you do share, you put like share audio or whatever.
there's not an option for that. They say if you want to share audio, use Google Chrome. So I guess
Oh
we have to
wow.
use Chrome when we do the StreamYard.
Okay, well that makes sense, I
You feel what
guess.
I'm saying?
Where the
So
hell is
yeah.
Mark? He dropped out
Shit.
again?
Yeah, let's see where the hell that fool went to. Yeah, this fool. Yeah. So anyway, like I was saying, so you said probably still no today?
Yeah, the way that I operate,
Hmm.
uh, it's not. I feel like it's not that big a deal in the world, like to the
Hmm.
normal person.
Hmm.
If your girl has a ton of bodies before you, but you trust her now, or whatever the fuck it may be, I feel like maybe it's not a big deal, but to me it is a big deal.
And why is that?
Because the way that I run shit, I run a tight ship, right? I got a castle. This is my fortress.
Hmm.
And because of street knowledge and certain things, street credibility, all these things, if you talk to anybody, you'll never find, oh yeah, I fuck the bitch that he's fucking and she'll turn on me and like, I don't have no weak links in my chain.
Hmm.
And I feel like with women, if they've been passed around, who knows what kind of past they can have setting dudes up, all kinds of shit, and it's not gonna happen to me.
Mm, that's pretty
So
interesting. That's pretty interesting.
it's a
See,
little deeper.
yeah, I think Mark had the same sentiment that you had when I sent it to him,
Hmm.
right? Where he kind of felt the same way you did. Um, I think for me, you know what I mean? Probably when I was 22, that shit would have mattered. But
Hmm.
right now, at the age I'm at, I don't really care because you know what? I have hella bodies on me.
Nah, I feel you. I feel you.
It's hot over here in New York, fellas. I'm sorry about that, man. My phone just shut off and said it.
Hey, you
Because of the
back?
temperature.
Hey, Mark. Um, so the question, because we couldn't get the audio to
I
play.
know the question. I know the question. The question. I remember. I didn't get a chance to answer it, but the question was: Shorty said, if your dream girl would you still mess with or marry your dream girl if
Hmm.
she had mad bodies, but you didn't know nothing about it, like you didn't know the details of the people or any of that stuff?
No,
But
but
she
she told
told
you
you.
beforehand. She told you like at the inception that she was a runner.
How you feeling about it, Mark?
It
Is it a go or a no go?
can't be a goal because you can't rock with a runner. Because if you rock with a runner, you're gonna always be chasing, and we don't chase, we replace.
uh,
Yeah, you know what, man? I'm gonna be honest with you. I told George, I said, you know what? I was a runner.
But
I
she
got
ain't
hella
you.
body. I got hella bodies on me,
She
man. I
ain't
can't.
you. She not you. I can't. I mean,
No, no, she's not me. She's not me. But I do just for me personally. I feel like I'd be hypocritical if I got all the bodies that I got on me, and I'm like, oh, I'm mad at her because she got bodies, right? And this is why I'm kind of mad that we can't really play the audios because we started to stream on Firefox, and I think the thing wants you to use Chrome in order to be able to share um in order to be able to share the streams. I don't know if I'm going to continue with the service.
So here's the
Uh
thing. I got you. I understand that completely. You ain't even got to go no further. Off the record, we would have definitely discussed this. So I hear you. Um,
mhm.
but the only caveat with the dream girl scenario is that if she's my dream girl, I understand all of that. You see, my thing is how are you with me? Like, we all got a pass, and I get
Yeah,
that. Whether she got 1,000 bodies and I got 1,000 bodies, and that stuff right there don't matter to me. Is she clean? Do she treat me well? Do she give me the compliance that I need in order for us to coexist?
yeah,
If
she
she
does
could
all that.
check those, if she could check those boxes, then we can make it work. I don't really care about a body count, man, because if she my dream girl, if I fit, that's what matters.
Yeah, that's really how I'm feeling with it because this is the thing, right? Um, I done slept with plenty of dudes, girlfriends, wives. You know what I mean? And I feel like for her to be able to come up front and say that, you don't really have shorties that do that quite often. So there's a certain level of honesty
But
that I
that's
see with.
that's the dream girl disclaimer that come with it, because the dream girl gonna check all those boxes that you prefer, because she's your dream. So, you know, George's George's or Michael's or Tommy's version of a dream girl might be different than mine. You know what I'm saying? So if she works with you, that's fine. But some dudes, even if all of that is considered, they can't get past the stigma of the body count. Body
Yeah,
count
and and there's no wrong answer because this is
body
this.
count has become such prevalent in these last few years. When what did when unless Shorty was a hoe or a porn star, whatever, like does that really matter? That's really like the individual question one has to ask himself. Does that
Uh,
really matter? Because if all of that went down before you, how can it really affect you?
I'll
yeah,
we
say
well,
not
this.
we not talking about kids. You know what I mean? We not talking about other things that are tangible. If somebody else went into that spot, how does that affect you? That really is, to me, that's really like a self-esteem indictment on you.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
how I
say
see it.
this. When I was a kid, like when I was in high school and a girl had a few bodies, I was like, oh, that we would say, not even just me, we would say that bitch a hoe, right? And as we got older, like, oh, this bitch is getting around, oh, she's a hoe. But at 18 years old, how much of a hoe can she be, right? At 20 years old, How
That's
much of a hoe
fucking
could she be?
facts, man.
Right? And you thought that, but there think about the 30, 35, 40-year-old hoes. Like that's a hoe. Right? She's
Facts.
well into her career now in that whole shit. But also, you know, I think Dream Girl's one thing, but if you're like barely starting out and getting into the game, it doesn't matter how many bodies they have, because a girl with a lot of bodies, she wants to have a good time, and that's what you want. Someone that's going to show you a good time, that's not going to stop you, that's going to go with the role. So if you get a girl with no bodies or a lot of bodies at first, it doesn't matter. It's whoever's going to roll and help you with your game, right?
Yeah, that's facts.
That is
That's facts.
facts. That is facts, and that plays right into what I was talking about, where the indictment on you, because some dudes' self esteem is so low, they mad that Shorty know how to have a better time than you do.
Don't
Hey, hey,
get
you
mad
know,
she having a better time than you.
You know what I'm
hey,
saying? Like
let
if
me
she,
tell you something.
because for real, because if a chick could teach you something, you gotta be competent enough in yourself to not let that throw you off in who you are.
Hey, I see. That's what I was about to hit on right here. Was there one dude, he pushed this girl right into my arms. This is back when I was in my dirt doing mentality, where you know what I'm saying. I could sleep with a motherfucking girl back then, right? But this woman, she was like actually like trying to build something with this guy, and they was in bed and they did something sexual. I forget what it was, but homie was like, "Where did you learn that from?" Right? And he was like, for real, like, "Nah, nah, nah, we not doing this whoopty whoopty whoop." And eventually, it got to a point where she started dipping outside the relationship. You know, this is how your confidence, believe it or not, your confidence is going to determine how the relationship starts, how it plays out in the duration, and how it ends. Because Mr. Lucario was bringing up a point where he said every single relationship ends, whether it's by breakup or by death. So you're going to have an end to the relationship. You right? You, with your confidence, though, can determine the outcome of that ending more times than not. I'm not going to say it's 100%, right? Because some women just will not understand why you don't want to continue the relationship, right? And if you didn't want things to end on a bad page, you could still play the game properly, and she could take it in a direction where she's not happy about the outcome of the relationship. You feel me? So, um, in those scenarios, those would be the exceptions to the rule. But ultimately, you will decide how the relationship goes based on your confidence. How do you approach? This is why we say, how do you want it? There's no wrong way to, and I say wrong in quotations, there's no wrong way to really approach a female. It's just, what do you want the relationship to be? Guys that tell me that they constantly run into gold diggers, what it tells me is that you floss your money and you have to be a flashy cat. And so you attract those kind of fish, right? You're using that kind of bait to catch that kind of fish. Man, shout out to the God Divine Justice. He had a line back in the day, a rap line that said, the type of fish you catch is the type of bait you use. So if you tell me that you're running into a lot of gold diggers, what it's telling me is you leading with your wallet, right? Is that when they first see you, you buying out the bar, you copping drinks, or you got bar service coming to you. Yes, that's going to attract that type,
It's
right?
it's it's looking like he projecting simp energy plenty.
All
So
right.
because you got plenty simp energy, you're gonna get those that's ready to eat.
Yeah, and this is the other thing. Guys that's telling me, "Oh, you attract a lot of players." Well, what it's telling me is that are you're coming across as a sensitivity kind of guy. Where you're approaching these women and you're trying to either get them to feel sorry for you, or you're coming with the roses and all of this stuff without making her earn it, right? But how do you want it? Do you want your relationship to be like that? If you do, keep going on this direction. You know, that's not for me. See, everybody's relationship goals are different. No two people are the exact same. For myself, I don't want those kinds of women around me. I don't want players, and I don't want uh gold diggers, right? I don't even mess with strippers. Not because I have anything against strippers, but what I have to look at is 8 hours a day, your goal is to separate this guy from his money. You feel what I'm saying? So you're going to be good at that profession because you practice this 40 hours a week for how many years? So that already tells me right there, nah, that's not. And the fact that you're in this kind of profession where you see the worst in men is telling me that we're not going to have a good interaction, because you're going to automatically put me into this box and I have to fight my way out of the box. And I'm not getting in a relationship to get into a fight. And when I say relationship, I don't mean just an exclusive relationship. I mean any kind of relationship, whether it's a sexual relationship, whether it's a sexual friendship, or whether it's a regular friendship, whether it is an exclusive relationship, a marriage, or whatever, any kind of relationship that you choose to have with a person, right? Um, it For me, I'd rather be based on integrity, right? My relationship with Cadillac Kid, this thing is built on bettering ourselves. That's how we ran into each other. We ran into each other, and he was into the exercise thing, I was into the exercise thing. We joined forces, and so our relationship is always self-betterment. So when we get around each other, magical shit happens, right? It's just, I mean, come on, man. Cadillac Kid, you there? You know what I'm saying?
Real shit. Real shit. Always build.
we
Fuck small talk.
we always build an after small talk. Yes, that's what it is. And so when we deal with these women or have these interaction with these shorties, we're not looking for the kind to get money. That's cool if you get money, right? That's cool if you're a gold digger. I'm not knocking you, but how long? Because this is your mentality 24/7. How long before you direct that energy in my direction? You
That's
feel what
real
I'm
shit.
saying?
And
So
who wants to deal with that?
exactly. And this is why we say, how do you want it? How you present yourself is how the duration of the relationship is going to go. Um, there was one of the videos I did want to play that I can't, it's one of this minister Farrakhan, where he says there's no such thing as a good woman, right? Because the premise of what he's saying is you have to make that. They don't, you know what I mean? When you get with a
Mm-hmm.
woman, you have to customize. It's kind
Mm-hmm.
of like the situation, um, Cadillac, where you were telling me about a young lady you were dealing with, who she had a gang of tattoos, and that's not your thing. And so you made her get them erased. It's not that he forced her. He didn't coerce her. He didn't put a gun up to her and say, get rid of these now or else. What he basically said to her was, hey, look, I'm not really into this kind of thing. You know, I like you, but I don't want my woman or my representation of me, I don't want her to display that kind of thing. So if you want to be a part of my life in this exclusive manner, this is what needs to happen.
Yep. Yep. You're not forcing nobody. You never force nobody. They can see their way out. But if they don't want to, then they'll get themselves inside the mold. And it's always about betterment. We don't make people do shit. It's like almost. I mean, I don't have kids, but I would think it's like you tell them what you think is best and why you think that'll better them, right? And if they, in the woman's point of view, if they agree, then they're fitting the mold, and that's what you want, because you're the leader.
Man, hit it right on the head, man. And that's the one position that guys have trouble accepting. Cadillac, have you looked at BMF?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
So, that was going on, that whole BMF thing was going on when I was actually on the scene,
Hmm.
you know. So, um, and it was a real big thing at the time. So to be able to watch the show depicted, um, during the time period it was, and seeing some of the things, seeing some of the backstory is very interesting. But one of the things that happened within the show, not to give away too many spoilers though, is this woman is having a problem with her husband, and she's a part of the church. And the preacher tells her, "You must submit to your husband." And she tells the preacher, "Well, I have a problem submitting to men." And the preacher just basically told her, "Hey, well, that's something that you have to deal with in your own soul."
Hmm.
And I know what the narrative, see, what sucks is today you've had this whole, and I don't mean to go full racial, but we have to look at things for what they are. Because one of the things with game, you cannot be a bigot and have game, right? Because that would mean that you like or dislike somebody based on how they look. And that that doesn't go, because there's a gang of pretty chicks out here who, like Prince said, the beautiful ones always smash the picture. So you cannot be a bigot and have game. What you can have awareness, right? And we do live in one of the most racist countries on the planet. And when I say that, what exactly I mean is that what the country does, it divides people by their looks and says, "Hey, if you look this specific way, you fit into this category." Right? So here it is. We could have somebody, two people, and they could be from Mexico. One person could look like Cadillac, the other person could look like me. And what they would do, they would categorize Cadillac as Latino, they'll categorize me as black, and totally disregard the ethnicity, right? And this is how it's built. And what they do is they try to make teams out of these kind of, you know, out of these racial layers. So we have to have awareness when we're living in this kind of country, because if you don't know where you're at and don't know how the rules are played where you're at, you could wind up dead. You can find yourself dead somewhere. So, what basically happened when this society was established, you had a lot of the white men, were very oppressive to their women. They didn't allow their women to work, right? Women couldn't vote. Women couldn't hold office. Women couldn't speak in a church. They couldn't hold any kind of position that would give them any type of authority or power. And that didn't come until maybe, like around World War I, when you know the society started to change. Men were away at the wars, and we needed women to keep the economy running. And so, what happened, because of this really oppressive system, now we have a narrative of what's called feminism, right? And I'm not saying feminism is good or bad. What I am looking at is some of the narratives that come from it. And one of the things with feminism, they don't support the whole submission to your husband. And it's based on what happened in those times. And I'm not saying that they're not right to have this kind of trauma from what happened. What I am saying is that when you're talking about a woman submitting to you, you have to make sure she understands not to buy into the stigma of what things were like before. I think Cadillac Kid laid it out perfectly when he said, "We do not force anybody to do anything. We lay out the terms of what we want, and either you want to abide by them or you don't, right? But it's your choice." You have the choice to do this. And the reason why we deal in things like submission is just like when we're driving a car. Two people cannot drive the same car, not at the same time. There has to be a driver, there has to be a passenger. When you're choosing to be the man because you are based on the security aspect of everything, that has to be the driving force in the country. This is why we put in the United States, we put so much into our military because we have to defend what we have here in the country, or else we won't have a country if your defense system is weak. So, therefore, military has to be the primary thing. In nature, it's the same thing, right? Men in most part, or the males in most part, have, for the most part, have to be the leaders in most species, right? Some of them, like bees and different things, you'll see those dynamics flipped, right? In a human society, we're not any different. The males have to be the leaders. We're the ones that are based on the security of things. And so you have to let your woman understand that submission, um, sub is under and mission is the plan. It's saying that you are under the plan that I have set for this relationship, right? If you're not, we're going to have turbulence, right? Oftentimes, um, like we saw in the Boomerang. If you guys didn't see the Boomerang movie, there was a part where Halle Berry is dating David Allen Greer, and he shows up at her house to take her out, and instead of deciding where they're gonna go, he says, "What do you want to do? What do you want to eat?" And she says, "I want you to pick." And he says, "Okay, well, I want Chinese." And she says, "No." And then they have this back and forth where the scene plays out and they never get to the destination. She's not attracted to him. He doesn't know what he wants. He did not have the confidence to stand on his square, right? Once again, how do you want it? He went into the relationship, no confidence, no leadership, right? And what happened is he lost the girl. The girl went with the player, right? She went with the player because he knew exactly what it was he wanted and what he expected of her. Cadillac, um, when he was talking to the young lady, right? The young lady ended up getting the tattoos lasered off, not because he forced her, because he said, "This is what I want from a partner. These are my stipulations. This is my standard. If you want to be a part of this, this is what has to happen." Okay.
That's
And
real.
she adhered to it, did she not?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
You just got to be the leader.
in fact, that particular one spoiled the hell out of this dude. And this dude is spoiled, man. Y'all don't know.
Yep,
He is
yep.
spoiled.
I
He's
mean, when you love, when you like someone or you want to be in their life, sometimes you want to do nice things for them, and that's a woman's role. So, you gotta help her. You gotta fulfill your role so you can help them fulfill their role, right? You gotta be the leader, and they gotta want to do shit for you because that's what they do. They do nice things. They, rub your back. It could be do your laundry. I do my own laundry, but do your laundry, rub your back, clean up after you. Like whatever it may be. Like I got girls that like, hey, you have my bills set up. And it's like, okay, hey, did you pay that bill yet? Like check up on me, like make sure I'm doing my due diligence and shit. Like it's almost like any executive has their executive support. And it's like if you run in the game, then it's okay to have that help. You're supposed to have that help, but they gotta wanna do it. Real
this
shit.
dude. Hit this man's cash app. He just dropped. Ooh, he dropped some super heavy game on y'all. Y'all owe that man some money.
That's the
Jeez.
shit, man. We love the game. We
Man,
love the
dude.
game.
Hey, man, that was heavy right there, dude. Hit that man's cash app.
That's
Oh
the
my
shit.
God. That was I'm gonna just tell y'all, if you guys really want the crux of what this whole show was about, rewind what that man just said and play that back. In fact, take an audio clip of that, take a short of that, and play that every single day when you wake up.
That's your mantra.
That is a beautiful mantra right there. Goodness gracious, man. That shit, ooh wee, bruh.
Yup.
Ooh wee, ooh wee,
We
ooh. I
love the
gotta give you
game.
props on that one. I gotta give you props on that. That was crazy.
We
That was
love the
crazy.
game, man. You see the passion? We love the game.
Yeah, this is facts, dude. Um, with that being said, the third video that I wanted y'all perspective on. I need to pin that up real quick so I can make sure that I don't mess up the gist of the video. I know what the gist is in my mind, but I want to make sure that I have it correct. While I'm doing this, y'all go through and go to Cadillac Kid 64, I believe it is. Was that the Cash App?
Yup. Cadillac
Hit,
Kid 64.
hit that man's Cash App, dude. Y'all, he gave y'all Patreon level game right there. This is why we only leave these videos up for so long before we take them back down. So
Yeah, we're gonna start that Patreon and all that too.
yeah, so
We're gonna
all
get
of that
that
is in the
going.
works. So okay, the third and last video that I wanted to cover, it's a live video of a guy and a girl. Now I don't know if this video is real or not. We're not trying to focus on the guy or the girl's authenticity of whether the video is real. We really want the video for the lesson. Basically, the premise of the video is this young lady's out on a date with this guy, and he tells her when they're out, they went out to dinner together. First date, uh, he told her after they leave here that they can um, they can go back to his place and watch a movie, and she didn't feel safe going to his house for the movie. And so because she didn't feel safe, he decided, okay, well, I'm not finna pay for the date then, right? So Cadillac, let's start. Let's go ahead and let's get because you just laid down just massive infinite game right there. How do you feel about that situation? So it's a first date.
Mhm.
This man takes a young lady out, and while they're eating, he says, "Hey, after this, we can go to my place and watch a movie." She doesn't know him, so she didn't feel comfortable with it. And she says no. And then because of that, he said, okay, well, I'm not paying for your meal.
Jeez. I mean, honestly, like I do things a little different maybe, but I feel like it's not on the first date, right?
Yeah.
That's like a first date. I
Yeah.
feel like everybody should be okay with if you take a girl on a date and she doesn't want to give up the skins on the first date, like I feel like that's okay. But, you know, also that's some chump shit to even freak out like a girl and put, okay, if a girl okay, you're on a date and a girl says something, it's not always it's usually not a definite answer. I'm not saying don't no means no, right? But it means that you just got to work a little harder sometimes or you're just not there yet. So when she says, nah, I'm not really feeling it, it's okay. How do I change her mind? Not force her. How do I change her mind? Or maybe she's just not fucking ready yet. And when you in any I feel like if I ask my little cousin like, "Hey, I'm let's go get some food." I asked you, so I pay. If I tell B, hey, let's go get some food, I asked you, so I pay. Like in any situation, I would think whoever asks is the person that pays. And if you're getting to know somebody, at least even if it doesn't work out, doesn't mean you gotta, kill the interaction. Fuck. So I don't agree with that shit, man. Pay for the shit, get her home, and things could change. She could change it. Look. The most game shit I've ever said is whatever a girl says, she usually means the opposite, or she it could be the opposite. Now, no one's gonna understand that yet. That's a Patreon thing. Like we'll get into that another time. But yeah, don't kill the interaction for what? You just you just made a definite no. It turned from a maybe she's not having the best date, but she'll give you another chance to oh yeah, and this is fucking over. Maybe you're not doing your part, and you just fucking blocked your blessing.
Blocked like hell, man. You know what? This is the thing, and I'm glad that you hit on that. Whoever asks should be the one to pay, because that it didn't specify that. We're just assuming that this is the landscape, right? And this is also the reason, like I tell you guys, one, you shouldn't even really be going on dates with women you don't know, right? Because you're reaching in your pocket for your hard-earned money and you're treating her like how you would treat your girl. So you really shouldn't lead with that. If anything, try to do something that is not like for me, I meet a young lady at a like a public park, and then we'll go feed the ducks and talk. Right? 'Cause I want to see your humanity. If you do feel the need to go on a first date, though, there is an etiquette that you carry yourself with. And like Cadillac Kid was saying, if you ask the young lady to go out on a date, then yes, you should be the one to pay because you're really asking for a block of her time that she could never get back. Okay, so there has to be some kind of compensation there. Secondly, um, and I'm not trying to sound like a parrot here, but my man is just he's on fire right now with what he's saying. First and foremost, here it is. You're supposed to be leading the interaction. You make a shot to say, "Hey, why don't we go back to my place?" Now, there's a lot of things that you just said by inviting her back to your place, and she don't know you like that, right? You indirectly um told her that she might be a loose woman. That might be insulting to her, right? You don't know if she's a church girl. You don't know what her views and her value on sex is. And so indirectly you just pretty much told her, "Hey, you're a loose woman. So go ahead and come on back to my place." Secondly, you just told her that this is something that you do quite often on the first date. You know what I'm saying? She don't know if she's finna get the call back. She don't know you from nothing. You asking her to be in your domain. She don't know if you're a serial killer. She don't know if you're a rapist. She don't know if you're a stalker. She knows nothing about you. Yet you want to have this woman in your corner of the world that is your domain and your safety. You want to invite her into that you know nothing about her, right? So you're saying a lot when you're bringing this across, right? Then because she doesn't want to do that, what you suggested, now you react off of it. So now you're basically letting her be the leader. You're putting her in a leadership position, and you say, "Hey, well, check this out. Because you're not doing that, um, well, this is how I'm going to do it. Then I'm not going to pay for your food. I asked for your block of time. I brought you out here where you don't know anybody. You don't feel safe. You don't know me from anything, right? You trusted me enough, and now here it is. Whether or not you brought your wallet, you got to pay for your own food." That's a really messed up thing. That's a really messed up thing to do to somebody. You know what I'm saying? And like Cadillac Kid said, you completely killed the interaction. So whatever might have been a temporary no is a definitive no forever. You know what I'm saying? Forever. Forever. You completely ruin that, man. Like that to me, um, and part of my language, that's some bitch shit. That's bitch assness right there. That's bitch assness at its finest. You, yeah, I mean, really, right?
Yep.
You get in your fucking feelings. So now, what you already had planned out, you totally disregarded your plans because you didn't like her answer.
Hmm. Yeah, you're not thinking, you're thinking like a woman. That's bitch ass shit because you're thinking like a woman. You're not thinking like a man. You're running off of emotion. Oh, she made me feel bad right now. So I'm gonna do something without thinking about the consequences instead of being logical and saying, okay, you take it, you take it, and it's like playing chess. You're gonna lose, you're gonna throw the game as soon as the opponent makes a good fucking move.
The motherfucker take your knight. So you like, oh, take my queen.
You just giving up.
Come on, man. You guys, I need you guys to be sharper. I need you guys to be better. You guys like badgering these women and calling them hoes, and you're like, oh, you have an OnlyFans. Well, this is the thing. Most of y'all are the moral police to these women who got OnlyFans because let's get to the truth of the bare bones. You want to hit,
Hmm.
and you think you're gonna badger your way into the pussy. It's not gonna work.
Hmm.
It's not gonna work. You're not gonna moral police yourself into the panties. And by making her feel bad about what she does, all you're going to do is you're going to do exactly what Cadillac just said. You're going to kill the interaction. So what was a temporary no is now a definitive no.
Hmm.
Y'all got to stop doing this. Y'all got to stop looking and saying, hey, I want a good woman. If you want a good woman, you need to put in your mind what a good woman is. And then you need to handcraft that woman from there. Back to the point about Cadillac with the young lady who had the tattoos. He handcrafted. He said, hey, you know what? This is not what I want for my representative,
Hmm.
right? If you want to be that representative, these are the qualifications that you're lacking right here. These are the things that need to be rectified. He didn't say,
Exactly.
hey, you better get out there and go do it, right? He said, this is what needs to be rectified and gave her a choice. She wanted to take care of it. She wanted his time. She wanted to be in this
Hmm.
mug's presence. She enjoyed this man's company that much that she went and she let somebody shoot a laser into her skin, bro.
Yep. Because yeah, because a good woman, basically, what it should be a universal thing. A good woman to you is somebody who cares about you and wants you to succeed, and they're gonna do whatever they can do to help you out
And yeah, it's just compliance,
in
right?
compliance.
And in return, you are going to help her achieve what she wants to achieve because she's there for you.
Hmm.
But you know what? You guys are going to burn up and turn these potentially good women into nothings. Into nothing. I remember Cadillac Kid and I, this is not long ago. We stayed out all night talking in this parking lot. And we seen this one young lady who had potential, but the problem with her was she was so insecure that she felt like she had to fit every single checkbox that she thought that a man would like. You remember this girl, that tall girl with the long hair?
Hmm.
She had tattoos every damn where.
Oh,
She was
yeah.
wearing some high shorts, and she was a really good looking woman too. She was
Hmm.
loud and rambunctious, right? And she thought she was fitting into everything that she thought a man wanted her to be. Y'all really need to understand what happened when you see these women getting these injections and this Botox and wearing this makeup and heels and eyelashes. They're doing all of this because they are trying to ingratiate themselves, or they're trying to make themselves appealing to you. They are trying to say, hey, you know what? I just want this man to like me. And so they're doing all of this stuff because this is what they think that you guys want. And as a result, that they're out here trying to appease you, you guys get on the you guys get on your soapbox and then y'all start talking crazy about them and saying, "Oh, look at this woman. She ain't shit because of A, B, and C." Dude, she's trying to be what she thinks you want her to be. She might be wrong about the answer. Then you know what? You can correct her. And correcting her doesn't mean uh, being on a moral soapbox and sitting back berating her because of what she want. You can let her know, "Hey, sweetie, you know what? You're beautiful without all of that. You are you are really classy without all of that. You know, you don't really need that much makeup, sweetheart. I like to look at the real you."
That's game.
You feel me? I don't really see none of you guys talking to these women about stuff like that. So no fucking wonder why they're masculine and stuff like they reflecting your light.
Hmm.
You beating up on them, so what they gonna do? They gonna beat up on you. They gonna follow your direction. So if you're aggressive towards them, guess how they gonna be towards you.
Yeah. You always got to think about your reputation. Like when he did that bitch ass shit and was like, "All right, well, you pay for it or whatever." Okay, if you guys run around the same circles, right, in this like neighborhood, and you did that to this one person, you don't think she's gonna go tell her friends about you, and you just ruin your reputation to about five bad bitches? You probably go, "Oh, I'm gonna go out a friend next. Fuck this bitch, I'm gonna go out a friend," not thinking like she's about to tell her friend that you ain't shit. And then you're gonna get a couple more rejections, and then you don't know why this is happening.
Hey, dude. Word travel fast when it come to bitch assness.
Yep, yep. She gonna tell all her friends. Listen, and you never know. Like you get a new job, and guess who's on your team or something, right? It's this girl, and you did the bitch ass shit. But you like this other girl you just met at work. What is she gonna do as soon as you start getting close to that girl? Hey, I went out with him one time and he didn't pay. He did some bitch ass shit. Guess what? Blocking blessings.
No, that's facts, man. That's so gangster, man, that you said that. That is so gangster that you said that. That's the realest shit in the world right there, man. Look, dude, bitch assness will follow you. You know, if you don't believe me, y'all, all y'all got to do is look no further than the whole P. Diddy thing, right? His reputation got him jammed the hell up. People was waiting on this dude's downfall because of his reputation. He didn't keep his reputation. He didn't guard his reputation with his life. See, when we get out there, we guarding our reputation with our lives, right? When we Cadillac Kid and I went on a double date before, and them women had the time of their lives kicking it with us. They will always remember us for that. You feel what I'm saying? This is the difference, right? Shorty at the old spot that Cadillac was at. She's gonna always remember that dude that came up to her and presented that $1 billion lottery ticket opportunity.
Mhm.
Especially when she look at the dude she kicking it with is like, nah, man, this wasn't it. I should have jumped on board homeboy's train. Cause the thing is, we lottery tickets out here. Someone finna cash us.
Mhm.
Someone finna cash us. So man, that's y'all got to really, and this is all coming once again from the foundation again, confidence. When your confidence is strong, you don't have to act like you better than anybody else. One of the
Yep.
things when Cadillac Kid and I go out, we don't have to be like, "Hey, fuck this dude and fuck that dude." When we go out, we just get attention. It's like as soon as we walk in the damn spot, whatever spot we go into, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a club, it's almost like you ever see those movies where you hear the damn record scratch and all the music stop and everybody turn and look. That's what it
Yep.
be like when we go places. I
Yep.
remember, man, we were in this place. And so for those of you outside of California or outside of Northern California, There's a place in Sunnyvale called Santana Row, and it's like a high end, kind of like how Beverly Hills used to be back in the day, right? So there's a lot of money going through Santana Row. The difference with Santana Row and Beverly Hills is there's not really a poor section of Santana Row. So this is all high end. People with a lot of money go and party here. Cadillac and I were there one night, and we were just strolling through. Now we were getting crazy attention. The funniest thing though to me was uh we were walking, we were just walking by, there's a bunch of stores and restaurants in the area. And we're just walking, we just talking, minding our own business. And this dude looks back, like he beamed us. He looked back, he saw Cadillac, he saw myself, and this cat went into a panic, right? And he automatically drug his girl off into this pizza shop. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he saw us coming and he was like, "Oh no, 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 no!" Like the insecurity caught this cat, and he he
Hmm.
he ran off with his girl.
Hmm.
Okay, what that makes me think of is, if you guys like nature shows, because I love nature shows, um, it reminds me of when the lions come to the watering hole. When the lions come to the watering hole, everybody else get the fuck out of Dodge. They move the fuck out the way. Elephants, something as big as elephants, when they come to the watering hole, you get deers, you get birds, you know what I'm saying? You get marmosets, you get all kind of these different animals that come to the watering hole, and everything is cool. When the lions come through, everybody scatters. And that's
Real
what
shit.
it reminded me of with us when we were at Santana Row, because our presence, our confidence, we love ourselves. Come on, man, look at Cadillac Kid, man, he's chilling.
Yep. Yep. It's because when somebody walk in the room that you want to be like, or like you just see like they carry themselves well, you're gonna gravitate towards them, you know? And that's what it is that confidence, is that fucking, it's that just having your own style pretty much, and just being confident about it. And for those dudes that clutch their girls and run off with them, when those dudes walk in, that's because you're not confident. That's
Mm,
why you got to do that shit. Because once you're in a few relationships and you've been through some shit, it's like, oh, I wonder if my girl's gonna cheat on me. I wonder if my girl's gonna cheat on me. It's not a fucking like something you do in a magic 8 ball. You can look at what you're dealing with and see, is this gonna happen to me or not? Is she happy? Is your girl happy? Or you must feel like she's unhappy if you worried that she's gonna go somewhere else. And that's on you again. Because happiness, it's a long-term thing, but a happiness is just a perspective change. So if you're not running game for her to be happy, then that's why you're not confident.
and you know what too? To add to that, she's gonna be happy if you're happy with
Hmm.
yourself.
Yeah.
If you're not happy with yourself, then that's when it's like he said, you're gonna say, "Oh, is she gonna cheat on me?" When you're not happy with yourself, that's a question you're gonna ask yourself. When you're
Hmm.
happy with yourself, you're not finna focus on that because you don't give a damn.
Yeah. How many times you been in a relationship and it's like, oh, I don't want this girl no more. I want to break up with her. But you haven't done it yet, right? And sometimes they make it hard, right? They're like, I'm so happy to have you. You're great. I don't know what I would do without you. And you're just like, I don't want this bitch no more. Right?
Uh,
Well, how does that happen? Because you're happy, you're confident, you don't need her.
that's facts. That's facts. There's an underlying conversation here that we're not gonna discuss on air.
Something like that. Everything we say, we practice what we preach.
This is facts, man. This is facts. Yeah, we gonna leave that one off air real quick. But that's a whole nother conversation. But this is for real to support what my man is saying, man. These are the facts over here. When you are happy with yourself, and when you're happy with yourself, you radiate happiness. So when people are around you, their energy picks up. When we step in the spot, people's energy picks up, right? When we get together already, when we're all together and we form like Voltron, people's energy pick up. They don't know us from nothing, right? And yeah, you see dudes clutching a girl. They don't even have to. Not with me. I don't know. Cadillac Kid is still a young dude though, right? He got a birthday coming up on August 12th, right?
Yup. Hmm.
Yeah. Got a birthday coming up on August 12th. So he's still a young dude, right? And me, I'm in the 50 club right now. I just hit 50 this year. So y'all don't even have to worry about it, man. I'm not even after your lady, right? If you see me conversing with your lady, all I'm doing is having a conversation. Cuz I just enjoy interactions with the opposite sex. I don't even have to have sex with them. You know what I'm saying? I
And
just enjoy.
everybody should be like that too, though. It's not, you don't gotta fuck everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I'm too stuck up to fuck everybody, to be honest with you.
Cause
You
I used
know,
to be like that too. I used to want to fuck everybody I talk to. And you know what? Some people are better off being in your life and you haven't fucked them. There's some good girls that I fuck that I wish they were my friends to this day. But for some
yeah.
reason, I just had to get the pussy.
Yup.
I
Yeah,
would
that's
have
a
taken the friendship, actually.
yeah, that's a young ego thing, right? And you grow out of that. You grow out of that. But yeah, Cadillac Kid is right. You do not have to have sex with every woman out here. And this is the other thing too. You'll know when you should have sex with a woman because you'll have a certain desire. There's going to be a certain level of being turned on when you're around this woman. When you're just having sex because she's a woman and because you think, oh, she's pretty, so I should be having sex, and it's almost like you're forcing yourself into that. That's when you know the interaction is not natural. Because I see some women who are drop dead gorgeous that I don't have the attraction to. They're nice to look at. And then I see some women who they might not be drop dead gorgeous. They might only be cute, but they might have some kind of sex appeal where I get like a ticklish feeling in my dude and I'm ready to make it happen. You feel what I'm saying? So um you can
Yeah.
force yourself into a situation that you don't need to be a part of.
That's why and this is like an old school word, but there's something called chemistry. In chemistry, if you look that shit up, it's the study of matter and how it changes, right?
Mm,
So it's like when you're talking to somebody, is there chemistry? Is your bodies changing? Do they want each other? Your body puts out pheromones and shit and all that. Is this process happening? Almost like it happens in the wild. And
yeah.
that's when you know you're supposed to fuck.
Yeah, you know what, man? I recently had to backpedal a little bit, man, because yeah, at 50, like there's not too many girls in the 20s that I really want to mess with. You feel what I'm saying? Just because the age gap is just too big. I'm just not, I'm not at that phase where I'm trying to figure it out already. You know what I mean? I figured it out. I got it. I'm cool. When you deal with young ladies in their 20s, they're still trying to figure a lot out. They're just trying to learn about themselves. There's so much that they're trying to ingest, right? The thing is, I ran across a young lady who was in her 20s, man, and the interaction was so cool. It was so cool that I literally had to pull myself back because I was getting ready to go there. The compliance was there, the cooperation, it was it was all across the board. You know what I'm saying? And I had to pull
Yeah.
it back because I'm like, man, nah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm contemplating whether or not I should do it
Hmm. And that
because
goes back to the other thing. You can't put a block on your blessings. You got to be able to always come back to that. Like the
uh,
dude that's, oh, okay, bitch, I ain't paying for the lunch or whatever. Yeah, you can't do that. So you can go back to the situation.
yeah, that's facts. That's super facts, man. And I'm sitting here like, man, should I? Because it's you know, it's just there. The compliance is there. But
Damn.
I also bear in mind too, when you're young, you don't have a whole lot to lose.
Mhm.
So the way she approaches situations is going to be different than, let's say, if I'm dealing with a woman who's 42 or 52. She's going to conduct herself a little bit differently with how she communicate, and if we have misunderstandings, right?
Mhm.
I already know she's not going to fly off the handle because she has something to lose. In the 20s, what the hell you got to lose? You don't have nothing,
Mhm.
right? And so that's the thing that I have to look at. But the compliance,
Damn.
my gosh, Caddy, I'm fighting myself right now because I want to, I really do, but I also have to look at
Mhm.
I'm a single father. You feel what I'm saying? I got a lot of responsibility on my shoulders. I got a lot of people depending on me, and I have to think about if I do this, what benefits does this add to my life other than
Mhm.
sex? I mean, of course, it's going to be sex, right? But what other benefit, what other good can come out of this,
Yeah,
right?
that's true. And that's something we're gonna touch on in the next episodes too, because you know, w- you always think like, how do I get the girl? How do I get the girl? But you don't think about, and it could be in any situation. You know, you go to McDonald's and you want to fuck the bitch, or you work with somebody and you want to fuck her, but you don't think about what is this gonna, what are the possibilities? One, she says yes. They're not always positive. Sometimes
Yeah,
they're negative. Sometimes you didn't have to do that. Like I said, having them as friends, or messing up what you got going on at work, or maybe like a friend, you got a friend circle and they bring another friend and now you want to fuck that friend, and it's like, what, then everybody's mad at you now because you just fucked up the dynamics of the circle. Was it worth it, right? Like there's a lot of different, there's a million different ways. What's that show, a million ways to die? Like there's a million ways that this shit can go wrong. Every situation's different. You don't gotta fuck everybody.
that's facts.
And
That's
that's what
facts.
you're saying, right? Like this, she's cooperating, she's down and she looks good and all these things, but there might be something attached where it's like, well, if this goes south, what's gonna happen here? Because you can't
Yeah,
control the other person's feelings. You can persuade them to fuck with you, but you don't know how they're gonna feel after.
exactly. Right, and that's the whole thing. You know what, y'all? I need to talk to Cadillac. I need to talk to him all fair, y'all. I really do. We about to wrap up because I need to talk to this dude real quick, man. He hit on a couple of points, man. Hey, Cadillac, where can they find you at, brother?
Yeah, go to the Instagram at Cadillac Kid _64.
What about the Cash App, my
The
dude? What is the
Cash App, that's Cadillac Kid 64.
Hey, dude, y'all got to hit this man's Cash App. He was on fire today. He
Show
was on
love.
fire. Y'all got to hit that Cash App. For
Show
myself,
love.
yeah, for myself, y'all see the Cash App right above here. It's Be Life the Formula with the number 4 MULA. If you want to hit me on Instagram, it's Northgate _ Be Life the Formula. If you want to hit me on Twitter, that's where I'm mostly at because I got crypto classes on there. It's going to be Life the Formula. Check this out, man. Caddy, we're gonna try to get another live stream in next Saturday if we can.
Nice.
I got to pick up Legacy in the morning, so we'll see when we can fit that in. Though, but what your schedule? Are you free on Saturday or what?
Yeah, just let me know.
Hey, man, yo, y'all. Hey, it's been a blessing. We're gonna see y'all next week because we got more stuff to discuss. We gonna wrap up today. We want to thank y'all for showing up today, and we just want to leave out by saying peace.
Peace.